Hey guys, thanks for tuning into PHENOMSOUND, and this is our second video on the EDM drums. In this video we are going to synthesize our own drum samples and create a nice and smooth drum and bass groove. Okay, let's get to it. Here I have the most basic kick that you can possibly synthesize. This is a simple sine wave with a pitch automation. The master tuning is being automated by the first LFO. Also there is a tiny distortion compressor and quite massive EQing, which makes the whole thing. And I have used a very powerful tool for working with drums. It's the standard FL Studio plugin called Transient Processor, but you can basically use any transient shaper or transient manipulating tool that you have to achieve the same results. It is crucial working with drum samples. Let's add a bit of the high end to the sound. We are going to be using a noise for this purpose. Sounds better. Let's try resampling it. As you can hear, the sample looks fine, but the transient is a bit weak. Let's try boosting it up a bit by adding another layer of sounds with the help of the second oscillator. We'll use some random wavetable to just simply create a click. This works for me, and let's try it once again. Now it looks a bit better, but still it's quite weak, but it's not a big deal. We will fix that in the future. There are a lot of different ways to do this. Let's add some compression using the OTT to the sample. Make it a bit shorter, cutting its tail, and try playing around with the pogo effect. Really amazing thing. Now it's punchy. And we could try picking some perfect pitch. I like this one. Let's compare. Let's add another transient processor with some more attack and less release on it. And now we need to add some more high end, and the sound that will be clicking, something like the hi-hat, to make this kick complete. This is what I'm talking about. Awesome, this sounds like a nice finished kick. Let's try it in the mix with some synthesized snare from my collection. As you can hear, this kick fits perfectly, and we've done it in a couple of minutes from scratch, which is awesome. Let's try some nice interesting trick by layering this laser sound like this with pogo set to minimum to make it really clicky. And we're going to layer it on top of the kick. Which will complete the clicking transient part of the kick. Nice. This sounds complete to me. Let's go and try to synthesize the snare, which is a bit more difficult task to do. Let's pitch it up and create another automation. This time we need a bit longer decay time, because the snare must be punchy, not only clicking. I think this will work just fine. Let's move it down. In this case, it's on the lowest octave. And I would like some more harmony to the sound, which will make this snare wider. Set the unisono to 2. Another sine wave. Nice, let's go ahead and add some noise. You could use the same automation. Now it's sounding like some classic synthetic drums from the legendary Roland drum machines. And this is how it was done at that time. Good that now we have a bit more advanced tools like Serum, and we are going to use a comps filter to add a bit more drive to this snare. Okay, set it up like this, and now let's go to the Fixes tab and use a lot of compression. Drag it all the way to the right. Set the compressor this way. And some tiny bit of a EQ in is required. Let's peak this frequency over here. We probably don't need the second one. Find the perfect spot. Probably let's make it even longer a bit. So on the post-processing chain I have a destructor, which makes a really smooth distortion. And of course the transient processor. Let's probably make the noise part a bit longer to add some nice tail. So we are going to use the second LFO for this purpose. Let's drag it over here. And tweak the level. Nice. Sounds like something. Let's probably try resampling this sound. And I think that something nice will come out of it. Also drag it over here and drop it. Some nice post-processing is also required over here. I have a small reverb, a bit of the width on the high frequencies with the stereo eyes button turned on, and of course the transient processor, which makes it punchy and clicking. And the final touch, let's try playing around with all those knobs in the sampler. Make it shorter. Pogo makes the thing. Nice. Now it's sounding like a very smooth liquid drum and bass or near-funk snare sample. And let's try some final touch. I have a acoustic snare sample, one of my favorite acoustic snares, and we are going to try to layer this snare on top of the synthesized snare that we've just made. And perfect. Let's try the full mix with the kicks that we've just made in Serum as well, and some little percussion loop. And I like this drum loop so much, so I decided to make a little drum and bass drop. So 15 minutes later or so, I have got something like this. So here you go. In 10 minutes or so, we've created our own drum samples from scratch. And of course, we can go further, resample those, layer them with some different samples, and create different variations of those. And a very nice thing that we can call this work our own, since we haven't stolen any other producer's samples, which is quite nice, but quite complicated. On the other side, let's not say stolen, but borrowed. This sounds more intelligent. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you will try making your own drum samples. I have no doubts that you will make it better than myself. And this drum and bass demo project is also available to my patrons, as well as a little drum sample pack and some Serum presets from this project. So go ahead and visit my Patreon page. Your support will be a huge boost for my channel to keep making nice, interesting content. Like this video, leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't done so. A lot of interesting content to come, so stay tuned to PHENOMSOUND. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day and see you in my next video. Bye!